So as you can see, it's about 1 minute after 6, and it is the 6th of July 2012, and I've got my bike here all packed up and ready to go. I'm just about to do a big ride. As you saw on the odometer, the current distance so far is 0 kilometers, but I'm about to change that. I'm going to be riding my bike up from here in Whitby all the way up to Orillia, so I can spend the weekend at the Mariposa Folk Festival. So kind of the name of the game today is to try and get as much riding in the morning before it gets too warm out. Currently it's about 20 degrees Celsius, but that's definitely expected to change. Today's supposed to be definitely a record heat sort of a day. It's supposed to go up to about 36 Celsius, and that's without the Humidex. With the Humidex, it's supposed to go up to about 46 Celsius. These numbers are from what's supposed to be happening in Toronto. It is supposed to be a little bit cooler over here in Whitby, but the road between here and Orillia, who knows what it'll be like. But the name of the game, as I said, is to try and get there as early as fast, take advantage of this cooler morning weather. So since I'm camping this weekend, I've brought a fair bit of stuff with me in the backpack there. Luckily, I don't need to bring my tent or sleeping bag, but in there I got 4 days worth of clothes because I'm going to be there for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then leaving on Monday. And so that's what's inside my panniers. I've got my tools back there. I've also got this little cases where the camera that I'm filming this with right now, that's where it's going to be stored. So I will be pulling this camera out every now and again and just update on what's going on. As I said, I'll be using my GPS to keep track of how far I've gone, how much further I have left to go. The distance is supposed to be about 114 kilometers, so quite a big ride. So anyways, I'm gonna get going, and I'll see you at the next place that I stop. So it's just after 7 now, about 7:05, and I've been riding now for just about a full hour, and you can see that I'm squinting because the sun's started to come up now and it's in plain sight. Ride so far has been going pretty well. I've only had really 2 little issues. The first issue was that the water bottle that I brought with me, since I knew it was going to be really hot, I brought with me 4 big water bottles, about that size. The other 3 are back here, and I figured it's gonna be really hot today, so what I did was I froze 3 of the water bottles, and the 4th water bottle was supposed to be just water, but unfortunately I forgot to fill up the 4th water bottle, so I had 3 frozen ones and 1 empty one, which wasn't so good for the first hour or so when I needed water, and all I had was frozen to deal with. So that's one issue that I had, although it's been fine because they have been thawing pretty quickly and I've been able to get enough water. But I'm definitely going to stop along the way and buy some more water, because I knew that that amount of water wasn't going to be enough regardless. So that's one issue. The other issue is, I don't know if you can notice that I have a fair bit of black grease on the front of my white shirt, and that's because I was having a little bit of an issue with my derailleur and my chain coming off. It's an issue that I've had for a while now, and I think I got it straightened out, but within the first 10 kilometers, or only the first 5 kilometers, I had the chain come off about 3 times, unfortunately, so I had to keep stopping and putting it back on, and of course wasting time because wasting the coolness of the morning. But since then I haven't had any issues with the derailleur, so I'm not really worried about it. The rest of the way it should be just fine. So anyways, I'm just going to take my little 10-minute break now. So my speed's been going pretty well. I'm at 21.9, and I've been aiming for about 22, so that's pretty good. I've got a big hill right ahead of me that I'm going to go down, which should help boost that a little bit. My moving time just under an hour. As I said, having to put the chain back on, delayed me a little bit, and I didn't really leave quite at 7, or quite at 6, so we're about 9 minutes after 7 right now. My distance is 21.2, max speed only 54.2, but yeah, so far things have been holding up really well. I'm just going to take a little bit of a break, do some stretching, reapply some sunscreen, maybe transfer a little bit of water into my bottle, and then I'll get going. and I'll be heading down that hill over there. So we're at a bit of a crossroads here. This is the road that I've been riding along and planning on taking, but it says it's closed right now, and it's open for local traffic only. I'm really not sure whether I should, take the detour, which is going to be a lot of extra kilometers, or if I'm going to be able to go through here. If the bridge is out or something, then obviously I want to take the detour. But I'm thinking that it's just going to be like a paving job that they're doing. They want to keep, traffic off of it. So I'm going to go straight ahead, maybe see what the other sign a little bit further up the road says, but I really hope I'm making the right choice here. So my moving time is about 2 hours now, so I decided it was about time for another break. My distance now is 45.6, and I got about 69k to go. It's just about 8:25, 8:24 right now. I've kept my moving average up there. It was above 23 for a while. When you last saw me stop, I was at that crossroads where I was trying to decide which way to go, where there was the road closed, and I decided to go down the road that was closed, and the road was fine for a long way. And then I could see there was a part where it looked like there was a bridge that was out, like what I was worried about. But I got closer to it, and I thought, oh, maybe if the crew's not there yet, I'll be able to still, walk through it. But if there's a way, like usually there's a way for the construction workers to walk from one side to the other side. But there was a crew right on site, but I asked them, was it okay if I it was okay if I walked through, and they said, the first guys were like, well, sure, if you can find a safe way to get through. And I was like, uh-oh, maybe it's, maybe there's like a huge amount of water in between, there's no way of getting through. But it turned out it was like some sort of a bridge that was like just a culvert. So there was no water flowing through it right now, and I was able to just, walk right around and go through. And of course, I thanked the guys. That was really nice of them to let me to go across without having to take that huge detour around. So I've just climbed up a fairly big hill. Before that last stop there, I went through the town of Uxbridge. And actually before that, I actually missed the turn I was supposed to take. I was on a road called Marsh Hill Road, and I was supposed to turn when I got just after Reach Street. I was supposed to take a residential street for a little bit and then go on to Reach Street. But I've been on this road before, and I forgot that I was supposed to turn. I was just, retracing in my mind what I had done the last time, and I just kept going right through where I was supposed to turn. And unfortunately, I missed my turn, and I realized that, quite a ways past, and it didn't really feel like, turning around and going back and, retracing my steps. So I ended up finding a gravel road to turn left onto. Which took me right back to Reach Street, and it really wasn't too bad, but I did have to do 3 kilometers on gravel, which I hadn't planned on doing. So then once I got onto Reach Street, it was really fun. That's the road that comes into the town of Uxbridge, and it's a really nice, steep, windy hill which leads into the town. Of course, there was some hill climbing to get out of town, but that was a really fun road to go down, and on that I boosted my average to above 23 kilometers an hour, which was pretty cool. So anyways, I'm just going to take a little bit of a break, maybe sit down, have a little bit of food, a little bit of a snack, and maybe a little bit of stretches, and transfer some more of my my frozen water bottles into the water bottle that that goes into my water bottle holder on my bike, so I'll be able to have more water for the ride. And hopefully soon I'll be able to find a place to stop where I can buy some more water. I thought I might be able to in Uxbridge, but of course it didn't really seem like a good spot to stop, because I just stopped right before that, and not to mention that most of the things in town weren't really open yet. It was before 8 o'clock when I was in Uxbridge, so a lot of the little convenience stores didn't seem to be open. So anyways, I'm going to take my little break, and then I'll continue down the road. So I'm now about 60% of the way done. I've done 71.1 kilometers, and I have about 44.6 remaining to go. I've been moving for just over 3 hours, 3 hours and 7 minutes, and my average, I've been keeping it up still. It's 22.8. What else? Right now it's about 10 to 10, 10:48, and right now I'm just about at Lake Simcoe, which is up there. and I'm just on this road that follows along the beach there along Lake Simcoe, and there's lots of houses along the lakefront there. Basically, the part where Lake Ridge Road meets Lake Simcoe, and then it ends, and then I've decided to take this little road which follows the shoreline. So it's been a pretty good ride so far. Just after I left the last time that I stopped, I got to a point where I still wasn't sure whether I was on the right road, because there's like another construction sign, and I wasn't really sure. There's another detour, and I wasn't sure whether I should take that or I should go around. And I really don't like taking detours because it slows me down. But anyways, at that intersection there was a gas station there with a little convenience store. So I said, okay, well I might just go in there and ask the person there if they know whether it's closed ahead. So I went in and asked, and it wasn't closed. I ended up going, but I also ended up buying some water there, about 1.5 liters of water, and then I used it to refill my my water bottles there. So like I said, I'm about 60% of the way done. I'm feeling really good. Just gonna take my break and then get back on the road and keep going. So I'm in Brecon now, and I'm just going to take my last break. I've been moving for just over 4 hours, and it's 5 to 11, and I'm doing pretty well, I think. So I've stopped here in Brecon at the food land, which is just off of Highway 12, and I'm gonna just buy some more water because my water supply is nearing its end, and I still got another 26K left to do. So there will be no more breaks after this. I'll just ride right there. It shouldn't be hard really, but I definitely got to have lots of water because that sun is really shining brightly now, and it's warmed up quite a bit. So anyways, I'm just going to take my break, have a little bit of a snack, get some water, and my next stop should be in Orillia.
Well, I didn't actually end up filming anything right when I arrived at the festival. I was pretty exhausted by that point. It was fairly late in the day, and it got in the last little section there was really hot, and I was relieved to be there, and I was excited, and I just didn't really feel like pulling out the camera and signing off for the video. But before I reset my odometer and all the stats off my GPS, I did manage to take a picture of it just to preserve all the statistics of my ride, just so I could remember how it was. And so I'll just go through and review it now, just remembering that last little section of the ride. So the total distance was about 125 kilometers. I arrived at about 12:20. I know it says on the time there 1900, but that's because I didn't take this picture until a while after I had actually arrived. My moving average, I kept it above 23, which I was quite impressed with. I did work really hard. I really did want to get there as early as I could, because I knew it was just going to get hotter and hotter, and the last section was really hot, and I just wanted to get there. And I ended up going in the lake almost right away, which was really nice and refreshing after I arrived. Now that maximum speed that it says there, 87.0 kilometers per hour, I don't really think I believe that. I don't recall in that last little section going anywhere close to that fast. I think somehow the GPS got messed up or something when I had it in the car or something, and or got confused or something, because I definitely didn't go that fast. My total moving time was just over 5 hours, 5 hours and 15 minutes. So pretty good for 125 kilometers. And so yeah, it was a really fun ride. I really enjoyed doing it. I look forward to doing that ride again. It's it's a pretty good distance to do in a day. Ideally, I'll try and choose a day when it's not going to be quite so hot. A little bit earlier in the season or a little bit later in the season would be great, I'm sure. But yeah, it was a good route. I'm happy with the route that I planned out, and yes, it was a really fun ride. So I hope you enjoyed watching this documentation of my trip to Orillia from Whitby. Thanks for watching.